Another day, another batch of great PlayStation 4 game deals. This seems to be like a daily regularity for us, but Newegg is running another 25% off promo code, and with that comes a lot of great deals on some very newly released games. So I want to take a look at all of those. Also, it seems like a lot of studios are prepping up games for the PlayStation 5, and while a lot of those games are also going to be kept under secrecy, the Tetris Effect developers are eyeing a PlayStation 5 title for a brand new game, and if you guys play Tetris Effect, it's easy to get excited for their unannounced project because you know they're going to be bringing something good. I want to take a look at everything that Tetsuya Mizugachi said, and also there is a very slick tease that Square Enix might be doing in regards to E3. We know that the Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to be a big part of their presentation. However, we also know that Crystal Dynamics is working on an Avengers project. When is that game going to be shown off? When are we going to find out more about that title? It's been quite a while. Given that the Avengers movie just got released, now would be very timely to show off more of that, and it looks like Square Enix over on Twitter are stealthily teasing it. A lot of people have started to pick up on this. Want to give you guys my 2 cents on that. First up, let's go over all of the great game deals that are available right now. These all come from Newegg, and there is a 25% off promo code. It is EMCTAVY47. We'll leave it in the description box below, but you can utilize it to get some great deals, including on DualShock 4 wireless controllers. These are obscenely expensive, typically going for $60 new. Knocking off 25% will take it down to $45. They have a gold controller that looks pretty cool. They have a blue camouflage controller, so you can have a look at that for yourself. Otherwise, as far as games are concerned, Days Gone is available for $45, which is pretty good. This is a game that I imagine some of you guys are going to want to wait until the fall until it's, $30 or even south of $30, but for $45, it is relatively good. A game with a lot of content. However, in the case of Days Gone, I did feel the game overstayed its welcome a tad bit by the end, but overall still a very compelling open world adventure and what you would expect out of a mid-tier PlayStation 4 exclusive. Not quite as good as the top games, but still a fairly good game in its own right. MLB The Show 19 is $45, so for you baseball fans, that's pretty good. Oh, and by the way, with Days Gone, you can get the collector's edition for 20% off. It's typically $140. If my math is correct, that'll knock it down to $112. I don't know if that's necessarily worth it, but I thought I'd give that a mention as well. Mortal Kombat 11, you can get that for $45, which is quite good. Marvel Spider-Man, that's available for $30, which is great, as is God of War. I imagine the majority of you guys with a PlayStation 4 own both of those games, but nonetheless, if you don't, $30 a pop isn't all too bad. Kind of a bummer on God of War, given that over on Black Friday, and that was what, 6 months ago at this point, God of War was available for $17 at GameStop, and now it seemingly had a little bit of a price hike. Now obviously you can't expect Black Friday deals year round, but you'll rarely see God of War even south of $30 at this point, so that is a little bit of a bummer. Here's a great deal. Rage 2 is down to $45. Given that that just released, $45 for Rage 2 is quite good. I know some people have their qualms about the game, but if you do want a fun open world action oriented title, Rage 2 definitely offers that, and I would definitely give that a recommendation at the price of $45, so not a bad deal for that. Alright, so those are the pretty good deals available on Newegg right now. Let's move on to some information that I'm very excited about. Tetsuya Mizugachi, the founder of Enhance and the creator of Tetris Effect, one of the best PlayStation 4 games of last year. That is not hyperbole. I know it was released around the same time as Spider-Man, a couple months after God of War. But man, oh man, Tetris Effect was an awesome game and an even better game if you use PlayStation VR. And now it looks like Enhance and Tetsuya Mizugachi are working on a brand new PlayStation 5 game. Speaking with VGC, Mizugachi spoke of his desire to work on the next crop of hardware, and in particular, it looks like he wants to aim for a higher resolution in gaming, and here's what he said. Quote, "We want to make a game on next consoles which will offer much higher resolution, I hope. Business-wise, you always need to be careful. Transitions can be tough depending on where you are in projects and how you've allocated your resources, but in our case, right now, Enhance is really well positioned to take full advantage of whatever next-gen offers once it comes out." So that's an exciting prospect of Enhance working on a brand new next-gen title, but you also might be wondering what kind of hardware do they want to utilize, because again, Tetris Effect did have a major VR component, and if you did use VR, the game just got better. You could play it with traditional controls, but with VR, it was even better, and he added, "And new hardware and new technology in general has always been a huge source of inspiration for me, from my days back in arcade to most recently VR and AR, so yeah, I'm definitely really excited for what's next." He also talked talked a little bit about backwards compatibility, saying I think it's great news both as a developer and as someone who plays game. One frustration for me personally has always been seeing games I worked on walled off behind old hardware. So if you don't have some pieces of plastic and silicon from 10 or 20 years ago and all in good working condition, you can't play it anymore. Now that is true in a sense, but that also offers developers the incentive to remaster their games and just create old games with updated graphics. I mean, didn't that happen with Rez? So I just offer you that as a tidbit. It is a way to make an additional revenue source, and I understand why we want backwards compatibility so much from a consumer standpoint. Give me backwards compatibility, and thankfully for the PlayStation 5, it's gonna have backwards compatibility, but you're kidding yourself if from a developer standpoint, some of them aren't thinking, hey, with the next generation console, I can remaster all of these old games and I can sell them again. You could probably still do that in all honesty. I mean, if you were playing a game through backwards compatibility, you'd be playing them with the older resolution, older settings, and older performance, at least one would think. You could make a remastered version and then release it again, whatever the case may be. That's an entirely different topic, and we'll explore that sometime in the future. But I just wanted to know that, but it looks like Tetsuya Mizuguchi and Enhance are prepping up a PlayStation 5 title. Whatever that is, I'm gonna be excited for it. If it's something as presentation savvy as a game like Tetris Effect, it's definitely gonna captivate me. Alright, moving on from that, we're getting closer and closer to E3, and Square Enix might be prepping up something pretty interesting. We know Final Fantasy VII Remake is gonna be there. I'm really hoping to see some gameplay of Babylon's Fall. That's Platinum Games' new title, and that is a PlayStation 4 console exclusive. However, an Avengers project has been said to be in the works for quite a while, and Square Enix is being a little clever. So they've been putting out these tweets saying Square Enix Live E3 2019 kicks off another exciting lineup of titles. Tune in on Monday, June 10th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So you'll see a picture and you'll notice that they've put out two tweets like this. In the middle, you'll see a Square Enix Live E3 2019 thing, and to the left and the right, you'll see a green portrait as well as a blue portrait, and then in the following picture, you'll see a purple portrait as well as an orange portrait. Now, the green, blue, purple, and orange could represent 4 of the 6 Infinity Stones, the powerful gems that played a central role in the last couple of Avengers movies. I know that might be a little bit of a stretch to some people, but why would they pick these colors specifically, and why would they alternate these colors like this? Why not just regurgitate the same picture? Why do you have any reason in changing the colors? And we know that this Avengers project is in the works, and now gamers have started to pick up on it. This is a pretty big tease, and it could be prepping up Square Enix on having a massive E3 2019 presentation, because I think if they just did E3 2019 and it was just about the Final Fantasy VII Remake and a couple of other smaller titles, it would get people excited. But if you have an E3 presentation with not only the Final Fantasy VII Remake, you also have the Avengers project, holy crap, that would be an enormous show, and that would be a great outing for Square Enix. And I would say that would be great given that last year's Square Enix conference wasn't all that great, and it really was just a media presentation. It's not like they were up on a stage, they just played a video, and all we saw was a couple of teaser trailers. We saw the announcement of games like The Quiet Man that didn't turn out all too well. We did see a new Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, but at that point, the Kingdom Hearts 3 hype was already there. The trailer didn't really increase anticipation or whatever the case may be. Square Enix, I would just say, had one of the worst presentations last year, which was unfortunate given that Square Enix is such a big publisher and they have so much potential in creating compelling projects, and they do have compelling projects in the works. So if we're headed into E3 2019 and Square Enix ends up showing the Final Fantasy VII Remake with a ton of information on that, and that's paramount, we need some clarity on that game, not just another gameplay trailer or even a gameplay demo. We need some concrete information about when that game's coming. If we get the Avengers project and then you round it out with things like Babylon's Fall's gameplay, maybe a couple of other announcements here and there, Square Enix is prepping up a really great show, so I'm excited for that. And that is going to conclude this video. Again, a ton of great deals are available on Newegg right now. The code is EMCTAVY47. We'll leave it in the description box below. That's 25% off. And given that these physical deals are coupling with the great digital deals running right now, if you want some great deals on games, you can definitely find them. So do check it out. If you guys want my recommendations, Days Gone at $45, while that might be a little bit steep, I still think that's a great deal. Mortal Kombat 11, while I have my qualms with the game, that is an awesome fighting game. Marvel Spider-Man, of course, one of my favorite games of 2018, would give that a strong recommendation. And those are the 3 standouts to me. If you want a DualShock 4 controller, of course, $45 for that isn't bad. Tetris Effect developers in Enhance and Tetsuya Mizuguchi are prepping up a game for PlayStation 5. What could that be? I would love to see another game that's super flashy and VR supported as well. I think Tetsuya Mizuguchi and Enhance can do great stuff with the VR given what they brought out with Tetris Effect. So a lot of potential in them in the future. And is Square Enix prepping up a huge E3 press conference? We could be seeing the Final Fantasy VII Remake. We could be seeing Avengers project. And there are a lot of other exciting and compelling projects that they have in the works. They really need to deliver and fire on all cylinders, considering I've been mentioning it a lot, but Square Enix has been fumbling a little bit with The Quiet Man, with Left Alive. But if they deliver a great show at E3, I think that could turn the tables for them. in a big way, at least in the short term, and let's see how all of these games turn out. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.